Hello, Christ is in our midst. I'm Father Kevin Long of St. Elias, Antiochian Orthodox Church in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Today is Monday, January 1st, 2024, and here are the readings for today. A reading from St. Paul's letter to the Colossians, chapter 2, verses 8 through 12. Brethren, see to it that no one makes a prey of you by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the universe, and not according to Christ. For in him the whole fullness of deity dwells bodily, and you have come to fullness of life in him, who is the head of all rule and authority. In him also you were circumcised with a circumcision made without hands, by putting off the body of flesh in the circumcision of Christ. And you were buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through faith in the working of God, who raised him from the dead. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 2, verses 20 and 21, and verses 40 through 52. Let us be attentive. At that time the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told them. And at the end of 8 days, when he was circumcised, he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. And the child grew and became strong, filled with wisdom, and the favor of God was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up according to the custom. And when the feast was ended, as they were returning, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. His parents did not know it, but supposing him to be in the company, they went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances. And when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem, seeking him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. And when they saw him, they were astonished, and his mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us so? Behold, your father and I have been looking for you anxiously." And he said to them, "How is it that you sought me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" And they did not understand the saying which he spoke to them. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth, and was obedient to them. And his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. Glory to thee, our God, glory to thee. So today in the Orthodox Church we remember of several things, but one of the things we remember is the circumcision of our Lord. Now, circumcision is an important practice within the Jewish community. It was initiated by God through Abraham, so this is long before the law was written on the Mount, given to Moses, but it was always a sign of the males of the faith belonging to God and showing their submission, their obedience to God. So our Lord is part of the Jewish community. It's important for us, I think, to remember that he is indeed a part of the Jewish community, and is in many ways the fulfillment of the messianic prophecies that are found throughout Judaism. So what we are to take from this is that he is willing, even as God, to be subject to the law that is part of the faith community to which he belongs. Even though he could say, well, I don't need this because I am already perfect and have no need for any kind of sign of belonging, he allows himself to be subject to the law, to lower himself in all things so that he can take our lowliness and raise it up to heights unthinkable. This is what's so glorious about our Lord's condescension, his willingness to embrace every aspect of humanity and to embrace it in a way that makes it holy, takes it from mundane and boring to holy and hallowed. That's what our Lord does with our existence. And it is indeed, truly, a beautiful thing. It is a gift beyond all measure. The other thing to bear in mind at this point is that the season of Nativity now in our church is over. We do not have 12 days of Christmas. We have the week-long festival of our Lord's Nativity. Then we have the beginning of change. The first is in the form of the circumcision of our Lord. And then the next day begins the preparations for the Feast of Theophany, which then lasts itself a long time afterwards. It's, I think, important for us to consider Nativity and Theophany as interrelated, that they are really the same thing. One deals with the physical elements of the world, one deals with the spiritual elements of the world, but when you have that combined, you have the whole person. And that's what makes this season so beautiful. Another thing that Father Tom Hopko helped to demonstrate is that the season of preparation for our Lord's nativity and incarnation, going all the way through to its culmination, well, there are 40 days of the fast that run from November 15th to December 25th. And then we have this season of either reflection on the nativity or preparation for the next thing to come. Then we have Theophany on the 6th of January. But the season of Christ really culminates on February 2nd, which is the entrance of our Lord into the temple, his dedication. Again, another sign of his obedience to the Father. So, what we have in all of this, then, in the span of 80 days, is the culmination of the mystery of the Incarnation. And if you look carefully at the saints that are commemorated in the period between Theophany and the presentation of Christ, you have luminous stars, some of the most important writers of the Christian world are remembered in that span of time, including my beloved patron saint, St. Gregory of Nyssa, St. Gregory the Theologian, Athanasius, St. Maximus the Confessor. It just goes on and on. But all of them help to hammer out our understanding of who Christ is and how we can take what they teach and embody it in our lives to make ourselves more holy. Today, also on January 1st, is the celebration of St. Basil's Day, the feast day of St. Basil. So we will remember St. Basil in a divine liturgy that is set for him. He wrote it, and we will participate in it as we remember both the circumcision of our Lord and also our Father among the saints, Basil the Great, the Archbishop of Caesarea in Cappadocia. Well, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, I'm grateful, and I pray that God will bless you and everyone that you love. I hope you have a great secular new year and a holy day, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow.